Am I audible? Hello? Am I audible?
Sir, you're audible, sir. You can start this session,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, please. Introduce you. Hello, sir. And after that, when you say it should go steam.
Sir is in session, sir.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Sir is on
Sir,
stage,
good
sir.
morning, sir.
You can interact with the
Good
sir,
morning,
sir.
sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
I
good
am
morning.
Murali, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Actually, we have come to twice to your office, sir.
Oh, sorry, sir. I could not
For
make.
MOI, yeah, you are not there. I think your next people are there.
Yes, sir.
Nice
Yes, sir.
talking to you, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. And really, it is indeed you are the right person to teach to tell anything about the patents in this entire state. I believe this. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the actual
And
invite,
all
sir.
the facts, all the no, really, it is in fact our dream is to give the best to the faculty members as a faculty development program. So in that process, we are actually started with our journey for artificial intelligence, and also we thought that some part only it will cover, most of time it will be there. So why not for the patents? Because most of the teachers also want to know about the much more about the patents. So myself, Purna, and next Swati Putta, all together we have discussion, and we thought you are the best person to invite, and luckily we got today, and definitely today all will get the very best knowledge from your side. Uh, Amma, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shall we start the
Yeah,
session, sir?
yeah. You start streaming, and then I'll introduce you all the fellows. You just invite me, then I'll introduce sir, and then
Sir,
sir
we are
will be
in live,
introduced by the
sir.
madam.
Sir, we are in live. We are in live, sir.
You are in live only, okay? And
Yes,
the
sir.
all the
Yes.
streaming is over.
Yes, sir. We have shared
Sir.
the link also.
Okay. Right. So, Madam Antaras Panigra, let introduce sir.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You are not audible, Madam.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Antaraj Panigrahi, Associate Professor, Raghu College of Pharmacy. It's my great privilege to introduce the speaker of today's session, Mr. Murli Krishna Patabi. Sir is the founder and managing director of Novel Patent Services, Novel IPR Academy, Novel Innovation Design Studio. Mr. Murli Krishna Patabi is a postgraduate in biomedical engineering. Biomedical engineering with a graduation in chemical engineering. Sir is a certified Green Belt Six Sigma professional and also the co-founder and director of Novel Patent Services, which is the only established company in the entire state offering unique business solutions in the domain of IPR. With over 18 plus years of experience in IPR domain and oversees the IPR operational vertical for India, US, and European based corporations, where Sir has overall responsibility of executing and supporting the IPR operations of the entire firm. Sir is also the co-founder and director of Novel IPR Academy, the only IPR academy in the southern India, and Sir brings a variety of experience in cross-functional roles across engineering, intellectual property, technology, business analysis, and management. Being an alumni of Geetham University, Nalsar University, and uh, Sir holds certifications in IPR from WIPO Geneva, and Sir is currently a consultant from many industrial firms and is also a guest faculty IPR at various engineering colleges and have chaired many IPR conferences and have held many IPR workshops on hand training sessions in IPR, especially in the areas of patent research and analytics. And Sir is also a certified professional in theory of inventing, problem solving trees and design for patentability. So, with this brief introduction, I now invite our speaker of today's session to start his lecture. Welcome, sir, to today's session.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, so shall I proceed, ma'am? Sir,
Yes, sir.
shall
Yeah,
I
Yes,
please,
sir.
sir.
proceed?
Please, sir.
Yeah.
Please, sir. Proceed,
Okay.
sir.
So I'll share my screen, sir, first. Good morning, all. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. It
Yes,
is
sir. Yes,
visible.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible, sir.
Okay.
Visible.
Yes. Yes, sir. So, thank you for the introduction, and I think I need not tell anything more about myself. Just to start with, we have a novel group where we have three companies. One is Novel Patent Services, and the Novel Innovation Design Studio, and Novel IPR Academy. And in Novel Patent Services, we take care of executing IP related projects. We help people in identification, generation, protection, and commercialization of IP, especially the patents. Of course, we do everything related to IP, like trademarks, copyrights, and everything related designs and everything related to IP. In Novel Patent Services, we take care of protection, commercialization, generation, and identification of IP to the industries. In Novel Innovation Design Studio, it actually helps, especially the startups, in generating new ideas or building portfolio of patents in their own field, and we act as extended research wing. As introduced in my introduction, like I am a certified professional in TRIZ, where TRIZ is nothing but theory of inventive problem solving methodologies and design for patentability services. With the help of those certifications, we have three more people in our company. We take care of designing different products for startups, and which help them actually gaining trust with investors and going into the market and positioning themselves unique in the market. So that is about Novel Innovation Design Studio. And Novel IPR Academy, the main agenda, the vision of this company is only to create awareness about IP wherever possible, academia, whatever institutions, wherever it is possible. So, of course, we help people in generating IP awareness programs. We help people in establishing IPR cells, and we also help people in designing IP policy and everything. So let's go directly into the topic, like introduction to intellectual property rights. You know that anything, whatever evolves from your brain, if it is not a copy of anything, and if it is unique, and if you customize anything to your needs or as per your expression, whatever it is, can be protected. Or the information, whatever you get from your brain and whatever is generated from your brain, can be protected in the form of intellectual property. So name itself suggests that it comes from our brain. Only thing is, we got to know, once that unique thinking from your brain has come, we need to decide, or we need to check in what form we can protect that. Like, for example, if it is an invention, we need to protect it as a patent. If it is an artistic thing, or an expression in music, or in photograph, something like that, can be protected in copyrights. Only an aesthetic appearance, it can be protected as design. So all these can be protected. So anything unique, suppose if anything comes from your brain, though it might be an invention, it might not be an invention, it's just a paper or it is just an expression, it's just a drawing, even those can be protected, and those can be used for recognition or for making money. So that is about intellectual property. And coming to intellectual property rights, you all know that these are some of the intellectual property rights. Like, these are the intellectual property rights. Once you get any idea from your brain, you need to decide whether it goes into a patent. If it is an invention, it would go into a patent. If it is a trademark or a logo, or if it is a name of a drug, or if it is a name of a company or something like that, can be protected as a trademark. And when it comes to copyright, whenever you express or whenever you write a paper, even that can be protected as copyright. And trade secrets, like some of the things which help us in increasing revenue to the company or revenue to the business, those secrets which are kept as, like, or the information which is kept as secret to generate more revenue, will be considered as trade secrets. And the shape, only the aesthetic appearance is considered, and no utility part is disclosed or not important in that, will be considered as industrial design. And geographical indication, sometimes it is based on the specific skill developed in a particular region, or specific taste generated in a particular region due to the climatic conditions or due to the environmental conditions there, will be considered as geographical indications. I think you might be aware of all these forms of IP. So just to give an introduction, I'm just taking you through this slide. So next, coming to invention, inventions are coming to a patent. Patent will be given for inventions. So we all know that all inventions can be protected as patents, and it will be there for a period of 20 years. And you can actually manufacture it, or you can license it out to any other person or to the company based on your strategy. So, as per the in Indian Patent Act, the definition of an invention is given in Section 21J, where it tells that invention means a new product or process involving an inventive step and capable of industrial application. So, it is this is what the statement was given in Patent Act. And sometimes it can be a process, it can be a product directly. And there are three important things to get a patent. One is it should be novel, and it should have an inventive step. And third one is it should have an industrial applicability. When we say newness or novelty, it means that it should not be there anywhere on the earth in any form till date. It should be the first thing to come into the market. You are the first person to concise that, or recognize that, or not recognize it, like synthesize that, or whatever it is, to make that invention. That means it should satisfy the novelty, it should not be there anywhere in the earth. And when we say inventiveness, it can be like it is just an enhancement to the existing technology, or it can even actually, like, if you improve the cost of making, and if there is an economic significance to that, even then you will be, there is a possibility that you will get grant of those patents. So sometimes it's not just technical advancement over the existing technology. Sometimes the known technology or known existing invention, if it is made with very significant change in the economic way, like suppose for example, if I make a tablet at 100 rupees, and if I can make the same tablet at 50 rupees or 5 rupees, of course it is not an apt thing. Let us take the bulb itself. Suppose manufacturing cost, not the selling cost, the manufacturing cost of a bulb, let us consider that manufacturing cost to be 50 rupees. So for that, there might be an invention. Tomorrow I might come up with a process where making cost of that bulb reduces by more than 70% or 60% or 50%, and the cost of making it is less than 25. Though I did not change anything technically, but the process I have changed in such a way that the cost of making it has reduced. In such cases, when there is a significant economic importance to that, then actually patents will be granted. So inventive stuff is a very critical thing in patent evaluation or patent grant. So it is subject to, and it depends on how people actually interpret things, and all those things, based on that it will be dependent. So inventive step is a very broad subject. It will be very contextual and we need to discuss like that. To take an example of a pharma industry related thing, suppose for example if you come up with an API, active pharmaceutical ingredient, like let us say you have come up with a compound where you treat corona, which directly treats corona, and you are the first person to come up with that one. That's compound can be protected as a product, and the method of making that compound can be protected it as process, and the formulation of it also can be protected as when you talk about formulations, if you include the compound, at the same time the carriers or excipients or some other things whatever is required to make that compound, and if you want to make that, that can be protected as again a product. And the process of formulation can also be protected. And like suppose for example if it is a tablet or dosage, or even a syrup, whatever it is, even the formulations can also be protected under these things. So but only thing is it should satisfy the criteria called novelty, inventive step, and industrial applicability. When we say novelty, it should not be there anywhere on the earth, though sometimes those compounds might be known, but the percentage or the concentrations and everything, you are the first person to use for that specific application, especially for the treatment of some specific disease or some specific ailment, will be considered as new. So it should satisfy new in novelty part of it, it should satisfy inventive part of it, and then it should have industrial applicability. That means it should be useful for treating some ailment or something like that. To get a patent, apart from satisfying all these three things, it should not fall in some of the sections like Section 3 of the Patent Act as well as Section 4 of the Patent Act, where Section 3 tells that what are not patentable. Suppose, for example, treatment procedures are not patentable, agricultural methodology is not patentable, and even let us say some gaming plan strategies, all those cannot be patented. But but agricultural implements which help in agricultural process, those implements can be protected. And even treatment devices, like suppose for example biomedical devices or even the pharmaceutical compositions, all those can be patented and those can be protected. So the and as per Section 4, anything related to the defense and all those things needs to be taken permission from DRDO and everything. They will decide whether this can be published publicly or not, and based on that they will give us permission to go ahead for patenting. Otherwise they don't allow for examination itself, and sometimes they don't even publish that application as well. So in order to get a patent, you need to satisfy those three basic criteria. One is novelty, industrial applicability, and inventive step. Apart from that, it should not, that subject matter should not fall under Section 3 and Section 4. So because it is a pharma related thing, before we go into the filing kind of thing, filing information, first let us discuss different patent systems in the pharma industry. So importance of patents, if you see in pharma industry, it's like people like branded companies like Pfizer or many big companies invest a lot of money in doing research to bring especially active pharmaceutical ingredients like compounds to treat different ailments like cancer, which is not treated till date, or any other disease which is prevalent. They do a lot of research and they come up with compounds. So patent system is one of the system where it give protection to those researchers who invest a lot of money in doing research. And patent system is the one of the system where you can actually recover your investments and make money out of it and do make profits out of it. So patent system helps especially in improving the research. For every system there are goods and bads. For a good part of the patent system is, it encourages research, and innovator rights will be protected, ethical rights of innovator will be protected, and he can make money out of his investment or out of his research, out of and because of that encouragement to the research, like most of the diseases would get new drugs to treat different ailments, and side effects with the drugs will also be reduced. People will be continuously working on improving the products or the compositions or even the compounds to treat any disease. So this is the positive part of the patents. And when it comes to the negative part of the patents, it's like sometimes because they do a lot of research and spend a lot of money on it, naturally what would happen is the cost of the brand or drugs will be very high. Generally we look at only the manufacturing cost of the drug, but we don't look at how much research has gone through. And apart from research, they don't even take care of the clinical trials. If you see the side, the funnel, this would be the thing. Like suppose for example you get 10,000 compounds during the clinical trials. It is like for stage 1 it will come up to only 250 will be qualifying for stage 2 clinical trials, and only 5 compounds will go for the clinical development, and the last only one compound might come out having all the regulatory things. So this is how exactly the funnel looks like. It is a tentative study of or tentative stats of how a drug comes out of a research. So naturally, when branded drug companies like Pfizer or Novartis or any other big companies who are into the research, they come up with different kinds of compounds to treat different ailments. But then in patent part of it, they can easily get grant. That's not a problem, because if they satisfy simply those three aspects of an patenting system, like novelty, inventive step, and industrial applicability, you'll get a grant. But to come into the market, it needs to have a clinical trials. It needs to pass the clinical trials, where you will have 4 stages of clinical trials, and it needs to satisfy all the guidelines given by FDA or DS here in India, whatever it is. For all these things, a lot of investment will be taken care, will be done. And even to complete the clinical trials, on an average it takes minimum of 14 to 15 years to complete the clinical trials. Suppose for example, if I come up with a patent, I will be filing a patent application now. Generally, on an average worldwide, the time for grant of a patent application will be 2.5 years. In other industries, like any other engineering industries or software industry or anything, the moment you file the application, it is that you can go into the market and you can make money out of your invention, and you can start minting money from your inventions, and you can start doing commercializing it. You can bring that product to the public and do whatever way you want to. You can sell the technology and everything you can do. But when it comes to the pharmaceutical industry, it is not so. So the moment you file a patent application, the process of patenting system will go parallelly. The grant will take 2.5 years or 3 years or 4 years, whatever it is, based on the kind of invention you come up with and how densely populated that research area is. Based on that, the time period will be extended. But it's not that the moment you file a patent application, you can bring that pharmaceutical drug into the market. I think you must be very much aware that it's not that the moment you invent it, you can bring it into the market. You got to undergo all the clinical trials, all the 4 stages, and it should satisfy all the results or the guidelines given by those regulatory boards. And if they satisfy, only they would be coming out. And for that, it takes minimum 14 to 15 years. What I'm saying is, this is an average period. Sometimes they almost complete all the 20 years in the research, in the clinical trials itself, like 16 17 years to get through these regulatory board regulations. So they will be left only with 2 years or 1 year. Sometimes it is 3 years, maximum is 4 on an average. So in those 4 years only, they need to leverage all the investment what they have put in the market. Again, now once it passes all these clinical trials of the drug control boards, in order to get into the market, again they need to have a different marketing strategy to reach to different people and different doctors and to the public. So again, it would be another investment. So all these three investments needs to be levied from the customer. Naturally, the branded drugs will be costly because they will be left with very limited period of time on like you will be left with only 2 years, and after that anyone can enter into the market. Of course, that is the reason why we have generic system, and the regulations of generic also we will talk today. So naturally, the monopoly on that technology, or to levy the cost what you have invested on the drug, where during your research, to levy that, it actually you on an average, effectively people will have only 2 to 3 years to get back the money what they have invested. So naturally, that is the reason why, one of the reason why they actually are huge, or the cost of the branded drugs will be very high when compared to the generic drugs. So, in key patent strategies, if you talk about key patent strategies, you can, these are some of the, like, you can categorize them like this. This is a basic type of categorization. Sometimes some people name it differently. It depends on in their internal thing, but on an average, broadly, we can classify those patent strategies like this. Primary patents, where you come up with a compound that you call it as active pharmaceutical ingredient, that compound which directly impacts any in treating an ailment can be protected as a product, and that would be the primary product. And any secondary, when we say the secondary patents, dosaging, formulations, method of making, because not just one method will be used. Especially if you see our Indian patent regime, um, prior to 1995, we used to have only process patents, not the product patents. And after 1995 to 2005, it is that we were allowed both, and we were given exclusive marketing rights instead of product and process. Of course, process is always there, but when it comes to the product, they started giving exclusive marketing rights from 2005. It is very important thing for pharma industry that from 2005, Indian patent system started giving patents even for the product patent. So in order to understand what is this product and process patents, if you see product patent, if you see, let us say paracetamol is the we all know that paracetamol is for, sorry, uh, if you see, sorry, paracetamol is for treating fever. We all know that. And let us say today I have invented that, till date that is not there. I am the inventor for that. So, for example, if I patent that, that will be that active pharmaceutical ingredient, whatever I try to patent, aceto, I don't remember that composition name, but still, let us say on a common name is paracetamol. I'll try to patent that active ingredient. So that can be called as product patent. That a compound what we are trying to protect for treatment of fever will be named, will be protected as a product patent. The process of making that active ingredient or synthesizing that active ingredient will be protected as process patents. Prior to 1995, Indian patent system did not allow patents on product patents. That means patents were not given for paracetamol. Method of making paracetamol were given, but they did not give patent for the product. So this allowed Indian pharmaceutical industry to do the reverse engineering for, like suppose for example, let us say some A company has invented some X active ingredient, and people Indian patent system did not allow patenting on X compound. So but making of X compound is allowed. So naturally, the owner of the branded drug X will be filing the patent on the method in India. So that method cannot be used by any other pharmaceutical industry in India. But what we can do is, because we active ingredient is not protected here, what people used to do is they used to do reverse engineering of it. Like suppose for example, the branded drug used to do manufacturing at, like, used to follow 5 steps and used to work at 30 degrees centigrade and 70 degrees or 70 mmHg or something like that, some pressure, some temperature, and some ingredients are being used to make that temperature, make that active ingredient. what our people used to do is, to get the target, people used to do reverse engineering, and instead of 30 degrees they used to make something else, some 45 degrees centigrade, or instead of some pressure they used to do something else, and instead of some let us say elements like A, B, and C are used. Instead of A, they used to use isomer of or isotope of whatever it is, or a salt of A is being used, and they used to attain that the active ingredient what they used to get. So many of our pharma industry used to do reverse engineering, and we used to have process patents for that, and we used to enter into the market. Why our patent system did not allow is, they actually, as per our Indian economy, people cannot afford too much costly medicine, so they did not allow patenting on product. They allowed patenting on process, especially this is there only for pharmaceutical industry. In rest of the technologies like engineering domain and everything, their product patents are allowed, but especially for pharma industry they did not allow product patents. Because if they allow the product patenting, because of that someone will be having monopoly of it. Then naturally what will happen, when if someone wants to make in other process also, they cannot make the end product, because an end product they have a patent on it. So if you make it in a different process and get into the market, you are not supposed to get that end product, because your end product is protected. End product is like the branded company used to have end product, so naturally they used to stop others to do research. So in order to prevent all those things, what the Indian patent system did is, they stopped giving patents on product patents prior to 1995. So after signing the GATT agreement and signing the TRIPS agreement, it happened like we need to abide to the international patent law system, especially core part of the law system needs to be abided. So naturally we wanted to implement, we started giving patents to even products, but India took some time to implement all those systems into our system, and we asked for a gestation period of 10 years. It's like we were given 10 years time to change all our systems, and to come in line with or in sync with the pharma or international patent system. So from 2005, from 1995 to 2005, it's a system where we did not directly allow products, but it's like the branded drugs were given exclusive marketing rights. That is the reason why we used to hear like EMR rights and everything prior to 2005. After 2005, Indian patent system started giving even product patents as well as the process patents. Nationally, process patents are there from long back. So product patents and product process patents. So now coming back to the strategies, different strategies. Primary patents will be like the active ingredient, whatever you synthesize will be protected as a product patent, and it can be considered as a primary patent. And the process of making that primary product or the active ingredient can be protected, can be categorized as a secondary patents, and the formulation of that active ingredient can be protected as uh, secondary patent. In some countries, even the dosage, even here dosage is allowed, but the treatment procedures are not allowed. While when we are trying to claim dosage patents, we need to take care that it doesn't fall under treatment process. So dosage is different, of course, but sometimes it happens like when people write patents, they unknowingly they make it as a treatment process. So then we will not be allowed granted a patent. So any patent which actually supports the primary patent will be a secondary patent. And patent clustering is something like this is also called as patent portfolio building and patent fencing. We call this strategy to be like, once we invent an active ingredient, we'll try to file these secondary patents apart from this active ingredient, like derivatives of this active ingredient, or any other any other formulation which is nearer to that, which would have nearly almost similar kind of impact of the treatment. will be patented, and they make sure that the competitors doesn't enter into that domain. They try to make such strategies, like all the equivalents will be made, like will be filed patents, and they make sure that people don't enter into that domain, or they make sure that the
Dear participants, it might be an internet issue. Please wait for a few moments. Dear participants, there might be an internet issue at the speaker's end. Please wait for a few moments. We'll come back with the session.
Hello, can you hear me?
Sir, please continue the session, sir. Share your screen.
Okay. Okay. Where did we miss, ma'am? Where did we stop this? Which slide? If you don't
Sir,
mind.
I'll tell you, sir.
Actually, I was continuing my session. I was continuously going on that. Uh, Please let me know which on which side.
Sir, key patent strategies, sir.
Oh, long back. Here. Is this the one we are talking about? Primary. Like, did you have a chance to hear about process and product patents, ma'am?
No, sir. It was audible till here. So
Uh, okay. Okay. So, uh,
please continue the session, sir.
yes, ma'am. Okay. So normally these are the key patent strategies what we have, and before going and understanding different patent strategies, first we need to understand the patent system in India, and in India prior to 95, from 95 to 2005, and from 2005 to till date. Uh, Prior to 1995, product patents were not given and only process patents were allowed. So it's like when it comes to 1990, when we say that product patents were not given, ma'am, if you think that this is done, you please interrupt me. Otherwise, I'll just try to continue at the earliest. So prior to 1995, only product patents were given. Product patents were not given, and process patents were given here in India. Because of that, what is happening when we say that product patents are not given? Let us say paracetamol, if you take, so naturally, or the any active pharmaceutical industry. Any active pharmaceutical ingredient, whatever is supposed to treat the ailment, sometimes what would happen is that is not given here in India prior to 1995. Those when you try to product, sorry, when you try to protect your active pharmaceutical ingredient, that will be considered as a product patent. And prior to 1995, those product patents were not granted, and because of that, in Indian industry, like most of the people were working like generic on the generics, or used to follow a reverse engineering process, because the active pharmaceutical ingredient is not protected here. uh, though the branded drug used to file a patent on particular process, how they used to synthesize that product, our Indian pharma industry used to do reverse engineering of the process, and they used to get patents for the process patents, but they never had active pharmaceutical ingredient. So this is what generally used to happen. So from prior to 1995, why we were not allowed product patenting is, once you allow active product patenting in pharma industry, what will happen is branded drugs will dictate the prices, and because of that, a common man in economic situations like our country cannot afford that. So because of that, people actually, like our Indian patent system did not allow um, patenting of product patents. After signing the GATT agreement and TRIPS agreement, we are supposed to abide to the international patent law and most of the things of the TRIPS agreement and GATT agreement. So we signed that we will implement a product patent system in pharma industry as well. So, but India took some time to implement that. The international governing body has given us time for 10 years to change all our systems as per the international patent system. And in those 10 years, we were given EMR rights, exclusive marketing rights, those exclusive market for products, especially when someone wants to enter with product patent in pharma industry, they were given actually EMRs, exclusive marketing rights. After 2005, once we started we started giving, Indian patent system started giving even product patents as well as the process patents. And that is the reason why prior to 2005, it is like our Indian pharma industry used to dominate our market, and even we went into the underdeveloped countries, and even developing countries as well. Like we could, with our good marketing strategies and everything, because we don't have a branded or patenting system, patenting system, we used to make large quantities of all pharmaceutical drugs, and we used to export, and very good marketing strategies we used to enter. So this is very important. We need to know the product patent regime of the patent in pharma industry in Indian patent system is very important to understand what has happened. So, and coming to different patent strategies, when you say, when you try to protect the active pharmaceutical ingredient, that will be considered as a primary patent. When you protect the process of making it, dosage of it, or formulation of it, all those will be considered as secondary patents. These are some of the patenting strategies. When we say patent clustering, it is like we would try to file different patents around that main patent or the primary patent, so that we make sure that other competitors doesn't enter into that area. We will try to, as many patents as possible, or as many alternatives to the main ingredient, and alternatives to the main process, alternatives to the main composition, alternatives to the main dosage system. That is called as patent clustering, so that the competitor doesn't enter into that, and that particular branded drug will have monopoly over that particular technology in that particular domain. So that is a patent clustering system. And when we say patent thickets, it's like the patenting system aims at delaying the generic drug. They don't. They make sure that they make all the. They make sure that they protect all the different things which needs to be protected to delay the generic drug entrant into the market. So those are called as patent tickets. And evergreening of patent is a most common strategy which is being followed even in pharma industry as well as in any other industry as well. This is like, today I will be filing a patent. Let us say one of my X is my active ingredient. I am the branded drug company. Today in 2020, 2024, I'll be filing X component as a product patent, and in 2022 I'll be filing on my method, and in 2024, in 2026 I'll be filing on my method, and 28 I'll be filing on dosage or something else. Because of that, what would happen, this first patent which was filed in 2024 will expire in 44, but the second patent which was filed in 26, I will have monopoly over that process till 26 and 46, and the other patent which was filed in 28 will have up to 48. So I will be having monopoly over the technology in one form or any other form. In something or the other, I will be having right. So some strategies will be like that, like at any point of time I will have my own technology. Like someone, if someone wants to enter into the market without my permission, they cannot enter, which is similar to my technology. So that is one kind of strategy what people generally do. The other thing is patent settlements. It is nothing but they actually branded drug companies would try to negotiate with generic drug companies in order to delay their entry into the market. Like they negotiate, they have their agreements, and they negotiate. It can be like they give some licensing of the branded drug in some company or some country or something like that, or they pay something, whatever might be their negotiation. Based on their negotiation, their strategy is to prevent the generic drug to enter into the market. So that is what patent settlements is all about. Some of the companies which generally implement all these things is Pfizer. Of course, every company will try to do. Most of the branded drug companies will try to follow all the above strategies. So these are some of the things. Pfizer actually most of the times use settlements with generic manufacturers, and all other strategies can be done with any other companies. Generally, when it comes to patent settlements, there is always a possibility of unethical settlement of things between the generic drug company and the branded drug company. So naturally, what would happen is there are some regulatory boards like FTC from US and EC from European Commission. They make sure that there are no unethical thing, and ultimate aim of any research is for the service of the humankind, and they will see that these unethical agreements or unethical settlements will not deter humankind from treatment. So this is what they do. And the next one is generic drugs. We all know what generic drug is. When a branded drug expires, if someone wants to enter into the market, they come up as a generic drug. So once after 20 years, people can enter into the same market with the same active ingredient, or equivalent to the active ingredient, or similar to the active ingredient. Only thing is they need to prove that this is bioequivalent to the active ingredient. That means the absorption rate of your drug into the blood system and distribution of your that generic drug component is almost equivalent to the active ingredient. If you can prove that, they'll be allowing that into the market. You need not do all the clinical trials. What we talked before, that it takes minimum 14 to 15 years to get clear of all those clinical trials. So all this investment can be avoided with that. Only by proving that it is bioequivalent, people can enter into the market. And the importance of generic drugs, like people, because of that, medicines have become affordable, and very big market when compared to branded drug, and everything is there. So, and when it comes to ensuring therapeutic equivalence, like for any generic to enter into the market, these are the three things which we need to make sure of. It should be identical active ingredient which is similar to the one active ingredient branded drug, and it should have an equivalent bioabsorption and distribution. And the thing is, this bioequivalent absorption and distribution, like we need to prove with some of the testing procedures, some of the experimental details, we need to submit to the drug control boards, and we need to prove that this is equivalent to the branded drug. Only then it will be allowed into the market, though you don't require this thing. So naturally, one of the important act which actually governed the generic and branded system, it is very important with respect to the patenting system, or any pharma industry, is Hatch-Waxman Act. It actually it was brought in somewhere around in 1980s, and it is like it protected both the interests of both the branded drugs as well as the generic drugs, and ultimately they achieved the aim of catering the humankind with affordable medicine. So there are important four paragraphs in the Hatch-Waxman Act. One is paragraph 1, paragraph 2. Like whenever we enter into the generic drug, enter into the market with generic drug composition, there are four ways of entering into the market. One is paragraph 1 certificate, para 1 certification, para 2 certification, para 3, and para 4. In this para 1, it is like sometimes what would happen is people would file patent applications in different. You all know that patent is a geographical right. When you file a patent in India, you will have right only in India. When you want to file a patent if you want a right on that product in US, you got to file a patent application there. In all other countries, wherever you want, you got to file all your patent applications on all those countries, and only then you will have right. Sometimes what would happen, some of the branded drugs will be filed in other countries, but they might miss filing in some of the countries. So para 1 certification says that if there is no patent for the branded drug in this country, you can apply for the para 1 certification with all those information. You can submit that information from the branded drug, and you can start enter into the market. And when it comes to para 2 certification, it is that um, um, once the patent drug, this branded drug is expired, you can enter into the market. And the third one is the moment, like before, like they clear off all the procedural thing to enter into the market. In the second one is after the expiry of branded drug, they would submit for the permission from the drug control board to enter. But in third one is like they do all the required documentation part before entry, before expiry of the branded drug, but they will announce or they would declare that they would enter only after the expiry of branded drug, expiry of patent of the branded drug. In paragraph 4, it is like before the expiry of the branded drug itself, the generic would enter. But only thing is, generally they would inform the drug control board that the patent is not valid and we are ready to invalidate that patent. So naturally, if we can prove that it is the patent what is being enjoyed by the branded drug, if we can prove that it is invalid, then you can enter into the market because there is no patent protection. Of course, this paragraph 4 is the most typical thing. Like most of the times, legal battles start with paragraph 4. And another important thing or another important aspect of patenting system in pharma industry is data exclusivity. Like though data exclusivity clause is not there in Indian patent system, but in most of the countries data exclusivity system is there. What is this data exclusivity is when branded drug comes into the market, they need to do all the clinical trials, and the data of the clinical trials will be submitted to the drug control boards. Yeah, and generally what would happen is these generic drug companies would access that and utilize that information to enter into the generic market. So naturally, to protect the interests of the branded drug, the developed countries or Western countries have come up with another statute called data exclusivity. For certain period of time, they don't release the data or the data related to the clinical trials to the public. At least for some countries it is 8 years, some countries it is 12 years, some countries it is for 5 years. Of course, we don't have such provisions in our Indian Patent Act, but this is one of the critical thing. So in this way, they actually prevent generic drugs from entering into the market. Data exclusivity is also one of the important aspect of the Indian or in the pharmaceutical industry. This is what the thing is. I think somehow I missed, like we got disconnected in our call in middle, and that is the reason why I covered most of the things before. And but still, right now I think for me it is time to move. So I have 3 to 4 minutes. If you have any doubts, please do ask me.
Thank you, sir, for your brief elaborative session. Now the discussion is open for participants. If anyone is having any query, please drop in the chat box.
Sir, can you give any exemplary, like any faculty suppose want to do some suspension or some ointment like that product they have prepared? Okay, how they
Yes, sir.
can go for filing the patent, sir? Some tips.
So if you disclose that ointment composition, sir, like what are the ingredients you are using in that ointment? So what we generally do is we will search whether anyone used all these, like let us say you have used some 3 ingredients in making this ointment. So first we will search whether people have disclosed anyone using all these 3 ingredients or not. And the second thing is what are the percentages of each of the ingredient in that final composition can also be checked. If suppose if that is not there, we can protect it as a product patent for the initial in all the 3 ingredients. At the same time, for percentages also we can protect it. At the same time, if that is not there, even for if the process is unique, we can protect it for the process also, sir. And suppose,
The
for
thing is
example,
that, sir, you have told that what are the, different eras in the country before 2005, after 2005, after 95, after 2005, like that, you distinguishedly you told that. It's very
yes, sir.
clear. And in which way we have to, market the product at the different countries by taking the different methodologies you told. But
Yes,
here all the faculty members are available. Their interest is that how they can file a patent in the particular. Suppose they are actually the pharmacy teachers. There is no any innovation. Only the thing
yes,
is the formulations. They do some new formulations. Only they do. Of course, some chemistry teachers they do the new molecules. Okay, no doubt.
yes,
New entity they do. Okay.
yes, sir.
So in such cases, and how the teacher can independently can go patent, or actually they need supposed to take the support of you like agencies compulsory. And when we in the journey of doing the patent, there are the prior art such they are telling that certain
Yes, sir.
service charges are there. So can prior art search can be done by independently by faculties? Is it possible to do such things?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Some of the free databases are available, sir, like Google Patents and everything. So using that you can do, but the problem is coverage of data is there. So naturally, experienced person is experienced person, and
Yeah,
but for
obviously.
initial thing, preliminary work, you can do it on yourself. So there are many free databases available, sir.
Yeah. So is it what each every country's patent data we have to do, or world patent data is enough for to verify that?
Like if we have paid databases, we will have coverage for all the countries, sir, because as per novelty rule it should not be there anywhere in the world, so we should not restrict ourselves only to certain jurisdictions. Google Patents actually covers most of the uh,
Corporate?
Sir, there is an
Hello?
net. So there is an internet issue from the speaker, and sir will join soon. We have questions for the session.
If anybody questions are, they get ready.
Yes, sir. When the speaker joins, we can ask questions. Avra? 2 minutes, sir. Thank you all the participants for bearing the technical issue. So all the questions posted in the group will be addressed in the WhatsApp group. And thank you everyone for attending this session. I also thank Murli Krishna sir for addressing the strategies required for filing the IPRs and the types of the patents. So thank you, Principal Sir, for joining the session. So with this, we end session 3 of day 2, and the afternoon session will start at 2 p.m. Thank you, everyone.